Hello, welcome back.
Welcome back, everyone.
We're doing something a little bit crazy this weekend, aren't we?
Yeah, it's just a bit crazy.
We've decided to hit the road and come out when it's forecast for a really severe storm or weather warnings.
Yeah.
And it's, what storm is it?
Storm Goretti this weekend.
Yeah, and it's forecast snow, winds, rain, all sorts, and it's yellow and amber weather warnings. And in some places there's a red weather warning as well. So, I don't know if we've done the right thing or not.
We will see, eh?
But it is my birthday and we didn't want to change our plans.
Right, so we are in a place called, where are we?
I've never heard of that before. We're in a place called, where are we?
Yeah, where are we? Sunningwell?
Sunningwell, yeah.
Sunningwell. We're probably around about an hour away from home, but halfway to the journey we're doing this weekend.
Yeah, we've not been here that long. We're in a pub car park at the moment, and you probably can hear the rain on the roof. It's just got a little bit worse, but we've been monitoring it and things shouldn't get too bad here.
Hopefully not. Hopefully we're just on the outskirts of where the main storm's going to hit with the snow and that. I think what we're going to end up with is maybe sleet. Maybe we'll have to watch out for ice in the morning. But other than that, I don't think we're going to get snowed in here, but hopefully.
Because it's my birthday and we're meeting friends sort of halfway between our home and their home, we obviously travelled up a bit more into the storm, and we're at this pub campsite. Well, not pub campsite, is it? It's a pub stopover.
It's a car park.
But it's still a pub stopover.
Yeah.
And Lee's going to treat me to a lovely meal tonight.
Yes.
And then we're not leaving here because I've got to work in the morning anyway from home, and our friends aren't leaving till like lunchtime-ish anyway, and we've only got an hour drive. So by the time we set off tomorrow, the ice and that should have gone.
Exactly.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Not bothered about the rain as long as it ain't thick snow. But if it is, we'll deal with that as and when it happens, and you'll see that on this vlog.
But as you know, it could go one way or another. Sometimes they don't get it quite right, so it could either be all blown over, not a problem, or it could be even worse.
Exactly.
So we're not sure if we've done the right thing, but we didn't want to let the weather spoil my birthday plans. So.
No, and sometimes you've just got to go for it, right? Adventure's an adventure. So on this vlog, we're going to show you the pub and the stop. I've already been in there. They seem very welcoming.
So yeah, after we've got up in the morning and shown you around the area here, just around the pub area, we're going to be heading off about lunchtime-ish to our next stop. So that's what we're going to be showing you.
Exciting. So here for one night, like we say, the car park here is free. We'll put all the details in as well, and as we're showing you, but the car park's free. They do expect you to go in and have a meal or something like that, as you should do anyway, to respect the hospitality of them letting you stay. So so our campsite fee for tonight is going to be the meal, which will be up to us what we spend then, isn't it?
Anyway, it's nearly 5 o'clock and I've finished work, and I think that means time for a beer. It's my birthday weekend. Let's start.
You can have a beer, and I'll go and get them because I've got the fridge. I don't know why I bought the big chest cooler out the back, but that's what I'm going to go and get now.
Well, you go get that then, and I think I'm going to sit and relax and chill out after a really busy week. And while I'm here at some point over the weekend, I am going to get out and do a vlog for my other channel.
Excellent.
So,
That'll give me some peace and quiet, love, won't it?
I don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, we'll probably do it when we get to the next place, and you can set up the camp while I go for a walk. How's that sound?
Oh, that sounds absolutely amazing.
So sometime over this weekend I will be getting out for a walk and filming some footage for my new channel, which is Jodie B Life's For You. It's Life's For You because it's Life's For You coaching programme. That's what I'm actually working on Patreon, and that's primarily for women over 40. But the YouTube channel is for anyone really, and so I've shortened it a little bit, called it Jodie B Life's For You, so it's easier to find. And I just go around doing walks wherever I am in this country, other countries, on campsites, whatever, and just chatting about something motivational really. So I'm just going to see where it goes. I've only just started it. I think I've got 48 subscribers as I'm talking to you right now, and I have one Patreon member, which is amazing. I'm really chuffed with that. I've not even done a full week yet. So, and Lee, bless him, is very supportive, aren't you, darling?
I am, but what she didn't tell you she is actually trained, aren't you? You're trained. You're a trained life coach. You're a trained hypnotherapist. You're a trained, NLP practitioner. You're trained in physical training as well, I believe. So you've actually got qualifications and you've not been using them. Why not use them and share them?
If you want to know more about that, head over because I've got an introduction video on my channel. It tells you a little bit more about that. But well done for remembering. I'm well impressed with that.
Okay, do I dare take you out? Now, there is lights in the car park. So it is quite light out there. The rain sounds heavy, doesn't it? Actually, let's put I'm pretty dark still, awning light on. Let's just have a quick look in the dark. Oh, the lens might get a bit wet. Yeah, the rain's quite heavy at the moment. Oh dear, I ain't even got the keys. Look at that. I'm going to go back and get the keys. But yeah, we've got a nice well there. We'll show you that in the morning. But it's very wet out here. So, forgot the keys, didn't I? So I got myself wet for nothing. I'm going to get the keys, go and get us both a beer out the back. And in a couple of hours, we'll be in the pub having something to eat.
Right, I'm going to go for this meal.
Shoes are on.
Shoes are on.
Shoes are
It's
on.
got muddy shoes, so you can only put them on. I haven't been out yet. So, right.
You're a bit muddy.
Let's see what this storm's doing.
I'll leave the light on, I think. No, I won't. Turn it off.
Oh, definitely a hood up moment, but you can't see me.
We're in. And just checking out the menus, actually. So we've ordered a rosé. Your favourite, isn't it, rosé wine?
Yeah, a bottle, not just a glass with straws.
Yeah. She don't just like a glass. She likes a bottle. Big
Between
bottle.
us.
Anyway, what are you going for? You can have starters.
I just fancy head.
Look at me. You can have. It's your birthday. Treat yourself.
Yeah, but I won't eat all that, so I can treat myself, but I'll end up roasting it.
It's nice and it's got an ambience here anyway. So we might be a little bit dark, but it's got a nice vibe.
Thank you very
lovely.
much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers.
I'll give you a few
Perfect.
minutes to look over the menu.
Yes,
Oh, thank you. That'd be perfect. Amazing.
Right, so we've gone with what we've gone with, a dry.
Do you like duck? Do you like the legs? There's a
If you're getting duck,
leg.
I'll eat
I'm not interested. I'm asking you. There's a roast duck leg. No, I think I'm going to go with a burger.
Oh yeah.
There's a
It's
few to
always
choose
easy,
from.
isn't it?
There's a few to choose from though. Hello.
Oh yeah.
I'll take an order for you guys.
Yes, of course you
please.
can.
Can I have a steak burger, please? And can I have chunky chips with that as well? Thank you. The steak is done just one way, is it? Or it's not done it's not like different ways of being cooked or anything?
I can go and ask if you'd like.
But if it is, then I'd just like it more on the well done side than the...
Basically, if it's like a steak, I think you're on
That's
about,
what I'm
aren't you?
asking, yeah. But if it's just normal burger, then that's fine.
I will check that for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm going to go with the same. Can I have pulled pork with it as well? And I'll have cheesy skin on fries.
Thank you very much.
Thank
And
you
the
very
rosé
much.
is lovely, by the way. Thank you. Anyway, cheers.
Cheers. Before we forget, this is the meal. Look at this. Wow, I've gone with cheesy chips, pulled pork in the steak burger. And then you've got loads of chips there and the same burger.
I didn't understand why I got 2 pots, but then I looked at your bowl and I get it.
Yeah.
And just a normal burger. But looks good. I'll let you know how it tastes.
Well, we're going to let you know how it tastes in the morning because we're going to enjoy this, enjoy the night for Jodie's birthday weekend, and
Bloody hell.
we'll show you around the place
Can I
in the
just
morning.
show you how many chips you get in one pot? And that's only 1 pot.
Good morning, everyone. Right, so up bright and early. I'm going to take you outside in a minute because it's nice and light now. So I'll quickly show you the pub and everything like that. Today, I'll be washing and brushing my teeth with bottled water. So because the van was in storage and I've had no way to fill it up really, I didn't want to fill it up the night before, which was what I normally do in the summer. So we come to a pub stop with a full tank. But because it's been below freezing, I didn't want to risk that. So we've done this stop with no water in the tanks. We're going to fill up when we get to the next stop. So we're just doing everything on bottled water. Right, I'm going to get washed, get ready, brush my teeth, and then get you outside. Wow, look at that. So we've put ourselves at the end of the car park, right next to the well. That is a road down there, but very quiet at night. Pub's behind me. So let's show you around. Now, we put ourselves in the corner. So we got here around 2-3 o'clock. Don't really get busy till around 5:30ish, 5 o'clock. Although it weren't that busy last night. Although I went on the chock because, as you know, if you watched the channel in the past, that I like to put the chock down, handbrake off when I do the levelling. It's lifted us up a little bit at the front, so it is reasonably flat. However, I parked right close to the wall, just to keep out the way, really. As you can see there, pretty close. However, that's a little mistake on my part because I can't get that chock out now because the vehicle rolled forward slightly. So I'm going to have to reverse an inch, if that, just to get that chock out. Shouldn't be a problem. So it's a Green King pub. And like I say, plenty of space in the car park. Now, I would always advise when you do pub stops, you can get there at a time when it's not too busy, because then you can get a decent spot for the motorhome. And the size of us, as you can see, you want to just tuck yourself out the way. But front of the pub is here. It's a lovely pub in there, lovely old pub. But you've got all the back end of the car park here. So you probably could come down the side there as well, and that probably wouldn't be a problem. Like I say, it is sloping up on that bit. So in the summer months, you've got a lovely garden area. So if you're staying here for the night, you can sit out. And like I say, they were very, very welcoming here. They said you're going to have a really good, peaceful night, which was great. And it was an absolute bliss night, nothing. And you've got up here as well. So a nice big terrace. But yeah, perfect pub. I do reckon it gets busy in the summer months. Obviously, we're just after Christmas now, so everyone's still full up on their Christmas food and drink and stuff, so it weren't too bad for us. Getting into the pub, it is a nice big wide entrance. It is on a bit of a slope, but it didn't affect us in any way. It's quite a gradual slope, so we didn't bottom out or nothing like that. But the roads up here, as you can see, look at that old building there. It's beautiful, but the roads are quite thin, so they're a little bit tight coming in. Now, if you take the correct route in, then you've only got about half a mile to get to the pub. So there is passing spots as well. But yeah, oh, there's a farm shop. Look at that. Just here, a farm shop and cafe. Looks like a barn down there. Typical of villages in these areas. Probably not got any water in the summer. Oh, and Oxford's only 4.5 miles away. So yeah, so this ain't too bad, but we came down this way. And as you can see, it is a little bit thin, but you know, there is passing places. But I believe you can go out this way. And it's not far off the A34 on the main road. Just up the top there's the car park. Just see the van through the bushes there. What an ideal stop. Now, we do love pub stops, and we don't use them probably as often as we should. But all I say is I always do my research on the pub stop. I always look on Google Maps, zoom right in, make sure the car park is suitable for our vehicle. And then I check online. Now I use ChatGPT, it used to be Google, but check online, see when the busy hours are for that pub, because that will then give you an idea of when best to arrive if you can. But you'll probably always find a space. It's just if you want something a bit more out the way. Right, Jodie's getting ready. She has working this morning, so I've left her to do that. but she'll be getting ready in a bit, and then I suppose we'll be heading off to our next stop. While Jodie's getting ready, I'm going to put some clips in here. We've had the hab check done recently. It was a mobile technician, Tim. Thank you very much. He was ideal. All of it explained in that. Yeah, just to check it out if you need your hab check done or servicing or anything like that on the habitation side, and he comes to you. So yeah, check it out. And it's cold. So get in the van, Lee, get in the van. So today I'm getting the habitation service done and complete. Now we're actually using a mobile technician for this. That is Spire Motorhome Services. Yeah, I found them online. Good recommendations, good reviews, so I thought, well, I'll give them a go. As you can see, the habitation check now is underway. So water back in the tank, that's all getting done. The waste tank's getting done. All the battery area and all the boiler all getting serviced. So it looks a bit of a mess. So that's all now complete. The habitation service is actually done. So this is actually Tim.
Hi.
And Tim is, I said earlier, it was Spire Motorhome Services, but it's Motorhome and Caravan.
It's Spire Motorhome and Caravan Services, which is a little bit of a mouthful. And when people ask for the website or the email, it's Spire Motorhome and Caravan Services at outlook.com, Spire Motorhome and Caravan Services .co.uk, so people get about halfway through. Yeah. Can you say that again, please?
yeah. Well, I will put it all down in the description so you can find Tim if you're in the area. So what sort of areas do you cover, Tim?
I cover a 50-mile radius of Salisbury.
Okay, well, there you go. So if you're in a 50-mile radius of Salisbury, then Tim can come out to you and do all the habitation side of things. So not vehicle, as in engine maintenance, just the habitation side, is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
So like I say, we got our service done today. Now, I did bring it to your area, and the main reason was I was getting the waste tank sorted and all that sort of stuff, so it was easier to fill it up with water from here for me. But if you're in a storage and you don't need water and stuff like that, then Tim could come out to you.
Yeah, I'm happy to carry out the service at a storage location.
Okay.
I can bring
or home location.
Or home location. Generally speaking, I tend to service them at people's homes. But if the van is at a storage facility, then I can bring water with me and bring a generator as well in order to test everything on the mains electric. Excellent. The only slight complication with your job today is because you wanted the wastewater tank cleaning. I didn't want to dump the chemicals just on the ground at the storage facility.
Fair play.
From an environmental health point of view, it made sense to do it here at home.
And as a business, it wouldn't look good anyway.
No, exactly. No, I just wouldn't do it.
Definitely not.
Not a done thing.
So we've had a couple of other things. So we've had my sensor looked at, and we think we've got a sensor fault there. So
almost certainly.
We're going to look at replacing that now.
Yeah. I can't imagine that there's anything wrong with the wiring because with the sensor disconnected, the wastewater tank gauge, above the door, read 0%. As soon as you plugged it in, it went up to 100. In spite of the fact that I thoroughly cleaned the 4 probes on the wastewater tank sensor, so it all points to an internal electrical problem with the sensor itself.
So that's a future job getting done. And the other thing was my Audi heating weren't working on 240.
Correct.
On the mains. However, you found that it was probably a loose connection of some sort.
Yeah, it was an intermittent fault from as you described it. And so what I found was when I disconnected the harness that provides the mains electric power to the boiler, I found that the supply cable plug, the neutral pin was actually pushed in, so it was barely touching the corresponding neutral pin going to the boiler. So you were in a situation where with the van bouncing and bumping around, the 2 pins were just touching and parting, and so it would work every now and again, and then it would stop working. Sometimes in a situation like that, if the pins are just touching, and you have the appliance on a low wattage setting, because it's not carrying too much current, there'll be a sufficient connection there to allow the current to flow. But when you put it onto full power, it's too much because you don't have a good enough connection there.
Right.
So
The good thing with that is it's now all sorted out, thanks to Tim. Along with that then, so as you can see there with the habitation service, it's not just that. There was a couple of other bits there that Tim can do, and I'm sure there's a lot more you can do. Go on to the website, there'll be a phone number or email.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, longest email in the world.
Yes, yeah. Type it in and save it. But once that's there, contact Tim, and anything on the Hab side, just ask the question. And I'm sure Tim will be able to advise if it's something that he can physically do. If not, guide you in the right direction.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm part of the approved workshop scheme. So it's a nationally recognised body that's in collaboration with the National Caravan Council, the NCC, and that means that I'm able to service and do work on vans that are still within their manufacturer's warranty.
Excellent, which was a question I was going to ask. So there you go. So if your van is still in warranty, then you can still come to Tim.
It's worth pointing out that the NCC doesn't have agreements with every single manufacturer.
Yeah.
So you do need to check, and you can check on the NCC's website. If you go to the NCC Approved Workshop Scheme website, and you can also check people's credentials, including my own, to make sure that they are genuinely part of the Approved Workshop Scheme.
Excellent.
And there's a list on there of what we do, who we are, and which vans, which manufacturers we can work on that are still under their manufacturer's warranty.
Well, there you go. So thanks again, Tim.
You're
I
welcome.
really do
My pleasure.
appreciate it. And I will definitely be using Tim's service time and time again. Like I say, he can even come to you. 50-mile round radius, and then, you're sorted. I suppose if you're outside that, you could always come to Tim.
Yeah, it's always an option. Or if you're
option.
staying at a campsite,
There you go.
that's not unheard of.
Yeah.
If you've got the campsite owner's permission, then I'm happy to travel and do the work there. I've serviced people's vans when they've been away on holiday before. So they just roll out of bed when I jack the van up.
Lovely. Right, we'll catch you back on the road.
Good morning. Well, that's me nearly finished work. I have a little bit more to do, so when we leave here to the next stop, I'll finish it off then. While I'm sat in the front, I've got one of them like cushion things with a table on it that you put on your knee, so that really helps. So I'll just do that on the way there. The first problem is though, we've got to sort out that.
Yeah, I've got to reverse back an inch.
Got to reverse back an inch, so I'm a bit worried about that.
Sure, it'll be fine.
But just to say, it was really nice. I mean, you probably said it all, Lee, but we really enjoyed it here. One point I did want to make, we think we confused the guy when he took our order, because you don't get 2 pots of chips. I asked for chunky chips, and I think he added it on as well. So the other chips came with it naturally, instead of changing it over. So I ended up paying for 2 lots of chips, and I only really wanted one.
Probably. Well, point to note on that, it cost us, with the bottle of wine, £73, and you can pay a little tip. So we paid 10%, I think. So it worked out about 80 quid. But that was a good birthday meal for you.
Yeah.
And a good stop.
So £73, stay over in a pub car park, and have a lovely meal. So we're quite happy with that, because it was a treat anyway, wasn't it, darling?
Yeah, and you can always easily I didn't see the price of wine, but you could probably knock off 20 quid if you didn't want alcohol.
If you didn't have wine.
Yeah, wine. So, right. All right. Am I going to get my shoes on?
Get your shoes on, because you're going to have to reverse this baby backwards without hitting me.
You're away.
You've seen the size of the gap. I know Lee's probably shown you already, but that is literally, that's my hand. So you can literally come back a tiny, tiny bit.
First off, let's get it in drive mode. As normal, handbrake's off. Right. Let's do his thing.
So let's have a look how he does this carefully.
Yep.
That's it.
Should be it. Let's see.
Yeah, look, I mean, really, if you look at
There
it
we
like
go.
that.
1 times chock. Bit dirty.
Drama over. Let's have a look at your top, by the way. Turn round.
Ooh.
We don't want to see butts. Just the top, love.
Hey, we could do pants, couldn't we?
Yeah, turn around. Yeah, I like it. They look quite good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice and warm.
Just say our ones obviously don't have YouTube on them that we're selling on the shop.
Right. Oh, and we did talk to Natasha, who did mention, and we're going to talk about it, but you might be able to order the darker colours with just a glow around the logo, so the logo is visible on the darker colours. But we'll see about that, and you'll see them on the shop if that's the case. Right. Let's get this sat nav set.
I just annoyed you didn't because I tried to do it with my hands and made a right mess with the water.
That's fine, that'll all come off anyway. So, all good.
I just wanted you to be able to see, love. Got them glasses on, see into the future with them things.
And we are off. Right, I think it's back the way we came.
Down this slope. Careful on this. Can't see out of there, it's a bit misty.
Let's clear that way, and clear that way.
There's a few potholes down here though, isn't there, love?
Yeah, I think that's the UK for you. Right, well this will be going up the thinner track again. Like I say, there is a few passing places, but just drive carefully and take it easy. Should be fine.
And there's people with dogs walking and things like that.
Make sure we're clear from cars. The passing places are only tiny, so like I say, only about half a mile and then you're off this road.
And some of the passing places are full of water and they have big holes in them, so to be careful.
Yes, take them nice and steady. Coming up to the main road now, so it weren't long at all. Hang on.
That's all right, he's just going to pull in a bit there.
Yeah, there we go.
Onto a main road. Look pretty clear considering there's a storm.
Yeah, I know, look. No snow, no ice, not many cars. Friday today.
Don't jinx it, darling, don't jinx
No,
it.
well, we've got 32 miles to go.
We've been driving around, singing songs way too loud because we wanna. Picking up our love friends, fill up the car till it bends because we wanna. Yeah, we just wanna have fun. The trunk's full of wine. We're gonna stay up, have the time of our lives. The night is young, don't need anybody else. We came to party all night long, and we don't need no chaperone. We don't need nobody.
Yeah, footpath all the way to the site, which is here.
Oh, that's really handy, isn't it?
Yeah, we are early.
Right, okay, so we're going to have to wait.
Don't know, might get in trouble.
Because we're out early.
We might get in
But you
trouble.
can wait in the waiting area, just can't go in yet.
Yeah, sure.
There we go. So we're all checked in, and apparently Lee knows where he's going.
Apparently. Right. Let's follow this road round a minute. Glasses on. They're big enough pitches, aren't they?
Yeah,
but I reckon
the
8
map
and 9.
the right way around.
Huh?
Got your
Yeah, map's the right way around. So I think there's the toilet block. So I think this is pitch 8 and 9, which is what I'm going to take. However, I'm going to go a bit further around and fill up with the water. This is 8 and 9, is it?
Let me have a look.
Can't see.
9,
8 and 9.
8. We're actually going to get water first because we keep making the mistake when we need water of parking up, getting levelled and everything. And then
Yes,
going,
we do.
we need water. So we're going to find the water point first. Oh, they don't look too bad up here either, does it?
Not at all, no.
So it's going to get a little bit windier later, I believe, and that's about it.
There we go. I think this is one of the services. They have got 2.
I wonder if he chose a blue hoodie because he does blue jobs. That's us parked up.
Yes.
And you've had to reserve that one behind you, haven't you? What have you put on it? A box?
Yeah, box of tools. I'm going to put this on it as well, so it's visible.
I think what he's doing is putting his tools there so that when our friends come, they can clean our van. I think that's what he's hinting. I'll tell Rich when he comes.
Yeah.
He can clean our van. You've left the tools for him.
Yeah, the tools and everything.
We're having a bit of issue, actually. Now we're parked up and everything. He can't seem to get the electric to work. So he's had it in different parts and everything. But what's happening is there is no light coming on in the microwave and the inverter should kick in as well. So I'm not sure what's happening there. You got it sorted?
finally got it sorted, and yeah, just the breaker switches needed to go up, which always confuses me because then it shows the red symbol.
Right, we're just waiting for our friends to arrive. They've got stuck in Friday traffic.
Yeah, so it ain't good for them, is it? Friday traffic, so hopefully they get here soon.
Yeah, so we were going to show you them arriving, but because we're losing the light now, you won't see them. We could show you, but you wouldn't see anything.
No, not in the darkness.
Not without the lights, and there's no lights above here or anything. So
yeah, so you're going to have to wait to find out who's joining us over this weekend on the next vlog.
Yeah, so join us next week.
Yeah, so we'd like to say thank you again to everyone that's subscribed, everyone that supports the channel, and we will catch you on the next one. So until then, bye.
See ya.